All right, hello and welcome. I'm Jobity, and I'll be hosting this live stream today, as well as the award ceremony on the 25th to 26th of November. Welcome to the 4th edition of the MiraBan UK Film Awards, powered by the MiraBan Company and founded by our festival director, Jay Manari. The MiraBan UK Film Awards, or MUFA, is a British London-based IMDb qualifying film festival focused on diversity in Auteur movies. As a member of Film Hub London and BFI fan, MUFA provides a spotlight for underrepresented, emerging, and experienced independent filmmakers through weekly live stream Q&A sessions, as well as with its in-person career expo and networking opportunities, and an exciting festival event taking place on the 25th to 26th of November at the Bromley Picture House Cinema. If you haven't done it yet, check out our festival tickets and VIP pass for the event, and subscribe on our emerging streaming platform called Stream Auteur to watch all the officially selected candidates of this edition and vote for your favorite, which will win the Best Film Audience Award. So today we'll be showcasing and discussing the work of Sara Bahramjahan. Sara's having some slight technical issues, but feel free to drop a message for her in the chat. She will be able to actually read them. So for those who don't know, Sara is from Iran, shortlisted for Best Documentary with her film, Childfree. We also have our esteemed documentary juror, Thomas Deshays, joining us on the live stream today. Childfree is another breathtaking diversity-driven story and a documentary about women who have chosen to be child-free in today's economically and social unstable Iran. The documentary reflects the concern of Sara and those who have the same opinion about having children in this era. Let's take a look.
مطمئن که صورتم نمیفته.
آگاهی من نسبت به نسل مادرم بیشتره.
شرایط محیطی شدیداً تاثیرگذاره.
چرا باید یه فرزندی بیاد که اونم باز این شرایط رو تجربه کنه؟
باید بی عقل باشم که بچه بخوام.
مادر شدن یک فرایند انتخابیه و 100% انتخاب من نیست.
این بیماری داره دامن همه رو میگیره.
Awesome. So for those who don't know, Sara is a freelance director and editor, graduating in the field of film directing. She has directed 2 short films called Node and Everything for a Guest, and 1 experimental film called Crossroad of Thinking. It is worth noting that her second film, Everything for a Guest, was presented in the Tehran Festival. So let's start the discussion. Obviously, Childfree, a very interesting and impactful movie. We can kind of get the ball rolling. Maybe with yourself, Thomas, what were your initial thoughts and some of the feedback from seeing the film? And because obviously it's a big area, big space. And again, for anyone watching, feel free to drop any comments or questions in the chat.
Yeah, well, I am almost ashamed to say that I barely knew what was going on. I had heard, of course, of some major issues, but this one is very sensitive, and so that's why I really liked what Sara did, because I guess it requires courage to be able to speak loudly and publicly about this concern.
I definitely agree, and it's also a very brave documentary, consider the context in which it has been made. It's a shame not to be able to directly speak with Sara because of the technical issues, but it's great to have the opportunity to actually give her the spotlight and talk about her movie and the challenges that we can perceive from watching it, because it's a documentary. So many elements of the real, the reality that she's going through are really bold and sometimes dramatic. But you can perceive the bravery of these women speaking up for themselves.
Definitely. And I think, to both your points, it takes a lot of courage, to make this and document it. I learned a lot from the documentary itself. And I think too, like, she was able to capture also like a tone and like emotion in the documentary where you're kind of able to empathize and put yourself in the shoes of, these individuals. And, there were times where I kind of got teary-eyed, not going to lie. I think it was, very impactful. And one of the questions I had, for Sara initially was, kind of like, how long it took to document. I'm sure like logistically, there was a lot of moving parts involved. I guess, what are your thoughts on, obviously it was like a lot of different locations that it was shot in, but I guess from your experience in the film space, what kind of, challenges common challenges that you've kind of seen within the space for filming in all those different locations logistically? It's just kind of like an open discussion, really. It's unfortunate that Sara's not here. We can maybe forward the questions after, but I'm sure maybe some of the stuff we discuss here might translate to what actually happened.
Now, as a filmmaker myself, I know how difficult it is to edit, to put together things that probably at a first look don't really seem connected, or maybe because she probably has filmed something a year ago or a year and a half ago, and after putting everything together is tough, but she kept focused on our main goal. So that's also something that is very valuable in this documentary.
I was actually thinking the first time we watched it and we had the discussion with Tomas, we were thinking of, this is a topic that to us in the Western world sounds so, almost predictable, because nowadays it is pretty straightforward, and it should be, that a woman's body should be controlled by the woman herself. If I was able to speak with Sara, I would love to know how it was delivered in terms of in the local community, because it's really important, the impression, because it's also, for me, I'm thinking the difference between my own country and the UK. I do perceive a gap that is huge, and so I would love to probably discuss a little bit the freedom and the perceived freedom we actually have and we don't realize sometimes.
Yeah, it is a little bit frustrating indeed, because I had so many questions to ask her, but at some point we even see it in the teaser. Those women, this motherhood, she says it is an illness, and it's true that how do you deal with that? It's something culturally so much integrated. So much rooted in the culture. So anyway, she is not here to respond, but that's something that I would have loved to talk with her.
Yeah, definitely.
I think along those lines too, like collaboration is a big part as well. Like obviously, the team she's working with, and it must have been a lot of, it really almost like a company, right? That you're running. Everyone has their own responsibilities. There's things that come up. You have to think on the spot and adjust, whether it's weather or certain, logistical constraints. So I guess, her working in a team and, trying to coordinate that together would have been a big feat in itself as well. And I feel like she was definitely a leader and probably pioneering that and orchestrating, almost like the conductor of the orchestra with all these moving parts. That's definitely not something that's easy. So, I definitely applaud her for what she's been able to do.
Yeah. It'd be also interesting to know if there were any man helping in the process in any way, in any capacity, to understand, because I'm sure, like in every situation, there is always exceptions. So I think it will be biased to think that all men think the same about women in that country, as much as not all women would think the same. From what we could perceive from the documentary, it's definitely the conversation is not happening. It's a monologue from religion towards, or actually politics before religion. Politics is they're just using religion to shape a certain vision of the world. But I'd love to actually have more of it in depth. Maybe we could eventually reach out in writing and take the opportunity to read some answers from her. Maybe Thomas, you want to draft something and we can pass it on, and maybe she could respond with a video. We'll see. Because she had so many technical issues. It's really a shame to miss not to talk about it. So definitely, I think we gave at least a sense of what's the topic, and we showed the trailer. So at least we gave some attention, we brought some attention to our film, and we will try another way to hear a reply as well.
It's to be seen.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's a documentary to be seen, indeed. Go ahead. As much as you can, you are able to see it. Really, it makes you think. It makes you think also differently, certainly. Also, the economical issue also, which is behind that, because there is not only a concern about patriarchy, motherhood, but behind it also economically, how do we? So that's indeed, it's something that made me think, ask suddenly many questions.
Yeah. Michael, do you want to tell them how can they actually watch Childfree and how they can vote? I'm sure there are a lot of people that are curious now about it.
Yeah, for sure. So to vote, you can visit the MUPA website, click on Films and Streaming, subscribe to streamauteur.com. When the platform goes live, you'll be able to like the video you want to vote for. And yeah, just a quick reminder as we kind of conclude this session today. Again, if you do have any follow-up questions, we will forward them to Sara. So hopefully we'll be able to get some feedback from her and kind of dig deeper into her filming process, the ideation, and yeah, the whole journey of building the film that she's created. But a quick reminder, as I mentioned earlier, the awards ceremony will be taking place at the Bromley Picture House on the 25th, 26th of November. And again, you can get your tickets at MiraBan ukfilmawards.co.uk. Thank you again, Thomas and Jay, for being on the call. And congratulations again to Sara, who will likely watch the stream afterwards for her amazing film, Childfree. Hope everyone has a great day, and thanks for tuning in.
Thank you so much, Michael. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.